wanna be down with the king.
It's the Sports Kings.
Sports Kings. Big Mike.
He might fall off the wagon in the next 10 minutes.
And Rob Calloway.
It's about bringing talent. It's not about all the flash and glitz and glam.
Not your average sports talk show. The Sports Kings.
This is NFL legend, Work Done.
This your boy D. Howard, a.k.a. Superman.
I'm Jerome Bettis, the bus.
It's Cam Newton. Holla at your boy, already.
This is Hank Aaron, and I'm down with the king.
Tell a friend, Kings is back.
This is the Sports Kings Podcast, being heard via Spreaker.com. Rob Calloway here, flying solo tonight. My boy Big Mike in an undisclosed location, getting some much-needed rest. Don't forget, when we're not here, we're there. There is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Sports Kings Live. And don't forget, you can hit us up on the email at sportskingslive@gmail.com. A whole lot of stuff going on in the sports world. Today, of course, we have the NBA playoffs, second round action in full swing. Last night, the hometown Atlanta Hawks. Well, let me back up. For those of you just checking out this podcast for the first time, we broadcast live from Metro Atlanta. And so anytime, we just have to make that disclaimer when we start talking about the local teams. And so the hometown Atlanta Hawks yesterday, even their series with the Washington Wizards with the 106-90 win at Phillips Arena. John Wall did not play for the Wizards. And, if you've been listening, we've been talking about John Wall being the X factor in this series. Ramon Sessions stepped up beautifully in his absence last night, even though they came up short. And we'll talk more about that coming up. Also, Mike Conley made his return to the court. I think he hasn't played since the 28th of April, if I'm not mistaken. And so he made his return to the court last night and gave the Memphis Grizzlies a spark, scoring 22 points in their 97-90 win over the Golden State Warriors in Game 2 of their second-round series. And unbelievably, the Warriors lost just their first game at home since I think it was January 28th. Somewhere right around there. So that's amazing in itself. But Mike Conley coming back for the Grizzlies was definitely big, and we'll talk more about that as well. Tonight, NBA playoff action, down 0-1. The Cavs host the Bulls at 7:30 on TNT. LeBron James has vowed to step up his gameplay in tonight's game. Of course, the Cavs still going at it without J.R. Smith. And, of course, one Kevin Love is done until next season. And so we'll see how the Cleveland Cavaliers fare tonight against the Chicago Bulls, who, this is the first time that we've seen this Bulls team playing like this because of injuries over the past few seasons to Derrick Rose. But now we see a Bulls team, what I would like to think is at full strength. I mean, you got Pau Gasol playing good basketball. You got Derrick Rose. You got, you got Joakim Noah doing his thing. And what's the young Jimmy Butler? I almost forgot his name. Jimmy Butler playing good basketball as well. And so, we'll see what happens tonight. That tip-off again from Cleveland is at 7:30 on TNT. And at 9:30, the L.A. Clippers are in action versus the Rockets in Houston. L.A. leads that series 1-0. Chris Paul expected to miss tonight's game as well. And so we can expect Austin Rivers the fill-in in his place again. Austin Rivers played good basketball game 1. Where really the entire Clippers team stepped up. You had Blake Griffin going for his second triple-double in as many games. You had Jamal Crawford stepping up, playing good basketball. You had Matt Barnes stepping up, playing good basketball. And so, again, we'll see what happens tonight, 9:30 on TNT, between the Clippers and Rockets. This is a game, the Rockets have to win, in my opinion. If they don't win this thing, I think it's going to be really hard for them going out to L.A., and, trying to win 2 games out there. But, again, we'll talk more about that. Of course, last Saturday, I was out in Las Vegas, Nevada for what was billed as the fight of the century, the mega fight between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. And, of course, we've been talking about it, the past few days. Manny Pacquiao actually suffered a torn rotator cuff. And so he's undergoing surgery tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. But the fallout continues, man. Floyd Mayweather, we talked about this yesterday. Floyd Mayweather actually sent a text to Stephen A. Smith saying that he wouldn't mind giving Manny Pacquiao a rematch once he's healthy, and that's about 9 months to a year away. But here's the thing, Manny could be facing he's definitely facing a class action lawsuit by a few restaurants in Las Vegas, but also he could be fined and suspended for failing to report his shoulder injury to the Nevada Boxing Commission. And so we'll talk more about the fallout from the fight of the century, as it was billed, coming up later in the podcast. And news around the NFL, Shady McCoy still talking about his former coach Chip Kelly of the Philadelphia Eagles, this time saying there's a reason he got rid of all the black players. Now, usually we do this thing where we say, "Oh man, stop talking." But tonight it's going to be kind of different when we get around to this. It's just called, dude, shut the hell up. Not, "Oh man, stop talking." Just, dude, shut the hell up. Because you're looking really silly right now. And so we'll talk about that. But the big news today is that the independent investigator Ted Wells released his report into Deflategate today, concluding that it's likely that locker room attendants deliberately released air from the New England Patriots game balls in the AFC Championship. The report also indicates that Tom Brady was probably aware of the practice. And they have text messages and all kind of stuff going on. And so we're definitely going to tackle that right here in the first hour because, I have my own feelings when it comes to the New England Patriots. They, for all intents and purposes, they are the last dynasty. Many consider them to be the last dynasty, the run that they went on right there in the early 2000s. But the one thing about it is they had not won a Super Bowl since the whole Spygate. And lo and behold, we have Deflategate right here, following during the season that they won a Super Bowl. And so I have my own personal feelings about this whole New England Patriots and the Patriots way, as they like to call it. But right now it's time for our daily feature where we take a look back at this day in sports history.
It's the Sports Kings. On this day.
Well, usually, this is when me and Mike, we banter back and forth. I give him a lot of off-color commentary about some of these things that happened on this day in sports history. In 1915, Babe Ruth hit his first major league homer while playing for the Boston Red Sox. The game was also his pitching debut. In 1921, the American Soccer League was formed. In 1925, Ty Cobb hit his fifth home run in only 2 games. Mike talked about the day before yesterday when we did on this day in sports history. In 1995, the Classic Sports Network began on cable TV. And in 1997, Rick Pitino, the great Rick Pitino, became the head coach of the Boston Celtics, where he amassed a win-loss record of 102 and 146 from 1997 to 2001. And then, of course, he went back to the college ranks because, he kind of sucked as an NBA coach. But while we're talking about on this day, we have a few folks celebrating birthdays today. Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays is 84. Known as the Say Hey Kid. He played in 24 All-Star games during his career. Also, Chris Paul, who's not playing in tonight's game against the Houston Rockets, he actually turns 30 today. Rapper Meek Mills, Nicki Minaj's dude, he turns 28 today. And the woman that we will always know as Precious, Gabby Sidibe, is 32 today. Of course, she also stars on the Fox hit TV show Empire. So happy birthday to all. Don't forget, this is the Sports Kings podcast being heard via Spreaker.com. Now, here's the deal. When you go to Spreaker, you got to make sure that you follow us and you like us. We appreciate all the listens, and please believe we're getting a lot of listens, but you got to make sure you follow and like the episodes that you're either listening to or downloading. All right. And don't forget, when we're not here on Spreaker, we're there. There is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Sports Kings Live. You can always hit us up via email, sportskingslive@gmail.com. And we will definitely get back with you ASAP because we always like to hear back from our listeners. All right. So from Spygate to Deflategate, it just won't stop. The madness that is for the New England Patriots, or the Patriots way, as they like to call it. And today, the NFL has found that it is probable that the New England Patriots personnel deliberately deflated balls during the AFC Championship game in January, and that quarterback, the golden boy of the National Football League, Tom Brady, was probably at least generally aware of the rules violation. The findings were released today in a 243-page report by Ted Wells, the league-appointed attorney who investigated whether the Patriots deflated balls in their game against the Indianapolis Colts. So, it took a while. A lot of folks, this thing had basically become a running joke about Deflategate and if there was ever really going to be a ruling that came down. And today, it shined a shed, if you will, a lot of light on this situation that happened back in January. Now, I'm reading this from CBSSports.com. Now, for the reasons described in this report, and after a comprehensive investigation, we have found that in connection with the AFC Championship game, it is more probable than not that New England Patriots personnel participated in violations of the playing rules and were involved in a deliberate effort to circumvent the rules, the report says. In particular, we have concluded that this is more probable than not that Jim McNally, the official's locker room attendant for the Patriots, and John Jastrzemski, an equipment assistant for the Patriots, participated in a deliberate effort to release air from the Patriots game balls after the balls were examined by the referee. Now, based on the evidence, it is also our view that it is more probable than not that Tom Brady, the quarterback, the golden boy of the National Football League, was at least generally aware of the inappropriate activities of McNally and Jastrzemski involving the release of air from the Patriots game ball. All right. And to go a little further, the report cites evidence that McNally took the game balls into a bathroom adjacent to the field at Gillette Stadium. We've all heard about that, and stayed in there with the bathroom door locked for about 100 seconds. And they're saying that amount of time is sufficient to deflate 13 balls using a needle. So I guess, with the air needle, I guess they just put it in, let the air out, go to the next football really quick. We all know what the needles look like that you inflate balls with. So maybe it was just a quick procedure, and maybe it's something that had even been practiced. I'm not really sure. Now, other evidence included referee Walt Anderson's inability to locate the previously approved football at the start of the game, the first time that had happened to him in 19 years. The report includes text messages between McNally and Jastrzemski. Text messages always do it. They always do it. These messages were sent between October and January that implied that Tom Brady, the golden boy of the National Football League, was requesting that footballs be deflated below the 12.5 per square inch. They also implied that Brady had previously been upset with the quality of the ball games, or the game balls rather. All right, now here are the text. In a text on October 17, 2014, following a game between the Patriots and the New York Football Jets, in which the report said Brady angrily complained about the air pressure in the ball. Ted Wells' 243-page report on Deflategate scandal concludes it's more probable, or we already talked about all that. All right, so here are the text messages. This first one is from McNally. It says, Tom, and when we say Tom, we're talking about Tom Brady. Tom sucks. I'm going to make that next ball a effing balloon. And here's Jastrzemski. Talked to him last night. He actually brought you up and said you must have a lot of stress trying to get them done. I told him it was. He was right, though. I checked some of the balls this morning. The refs effed us. A few of them were almost 16. They didn't recheck then after they put air in them. And McNally, F Tom, 16 is nothing. Wait until next Sunday. Jastrzemski, OMG, spaz. Now they're sounding like some Valley girls. Now here are the text on January 17th of 2015, 11 days before the AFC Championship game. Here's McNally. Remember to put a couple sweet pigskins ready for Tom to sign. Jastrzemski, you got it, kid. Big autograph day for you. McNally, nice. Throw some kicks in and make it real special. Jastrzemski, are you lucky 11? Asking, I guess, about the shoe size. McNally, 11 or 11 and a half. So, you got these guys going back and forth. And what these texts, in my opinion, what they implicate is that Tom Brady was definitely involved with this whole Deflategate. I mean, you see the text messages. Oh, I talked to Tom. He said that you must be stressed and really going through it, trying to get them done. What are you trying to get done? Underinflate the balls? to where he wanted him. You know, this is kind of unbelievable. I mean, well, if it was any other team, and the reason I say it's unbelievable.